Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Monica, David, Whitney, Stolly, Wendell, Shane, Aaron, Jason, Skybeam, Sven, Mike, Buffalo Bill, Sixes, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. Johnny, good morning to you. Thank you guys for being here. We are going to revisit the Wetlands today, and I'm going to try to get basically all of this done. I would like to finish all these, and then we don't really have to think about the Wetlands anymore. We can then head back to Duskwood and finish up over that way. That is the tentative plan. I hope everyone is doing well today. Anything going on in the world of Warcraft or the world at large? 6 is the add-on. That's being handled by Leatrix Plus. So for the flight timers, you come to interface and you can show the flight times. Yep. Super handy when you're thinking about getting a sandwich or refilling your coffee to know exactly how long the flight is going to take. Yeah, if you look in interface, like, Leatrix can do a lot of stuff. Leatrix is changing our quest log a little bit. It's changing the profession menus a little bit. It does all kinds of cool stuff. It can even manipulate weather effects. And I don't really know how it does it. But Leatrix Plus can affect the intensity of weather effects, which is pretty amazing. Whitney, who won the game last night? The Lions, right? I didn't finish watching it because it seemed like a blowout. Usually when games seem like one-sided, I get like less interested, even though I wanted the Lions to win. By the third quarter, they were up by so much that we stopped watching it, but I'm pretty sure the Lions won. It's like 36-20. But yeah, it gets boring when it feels like it's not very competitive. Yeah, I have a vague memory of like checking the score sometime when I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm pretty sure the Lions won 36-20. Which is great. So they're 3-1 now. It's probably the first year they've started off 3-1 in like a decade. They're not used to starting their season at 3-1. So it's good times. Eric says, savor it. You don't often feel that way about Lions games. Yeah, but recently they've been really good. Like, even last year they did really well. The curse was lifted. There was a curse on the team and on the stadium. And they did like an exorcism last year, and they lifted the curse. And as soon as they did that, the team started to perform better. So, I don't know. It was probably a placebo effect. But they still started to play much better after they lifted the curse.
Hi.
Yeah, like for the Lions, they've been doing amazing. I'm happy to see it. Do I want to set my Hearthstone here? No, not really. I don't really want to. Alright, we're going to go up here first. We're going to go after the Cursed Crew. I know it's dangerous. There's water, but listen, we have water potions. So we will be availing ourselves of those. And yeah, we'll see how it is. I think we're going to be fine. I'm also going to look for the giant crocolisk unless they're being farmed out again like they were yesterday. And we'll see if we can knock these two off the list. Yeah, Miami had the highest score ever recorded in the NFL, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 70 points in a game is the highest score that's ever happened ever. So yeah, pretty amazing. I feel like KC was on their way to a really high scoring game last week as well. And then Mahomes got his ankle rolled over and they pulled him out, and then they put in their backup quarterback who was just awful. But I felt like KC was like gonna give that 70 a run for its money. And then of course old boy rolled his ankle like he always does. And they pulled him out and put their backup, and apparently their backup is awful. So let's hope for the Chiefs that they never have to actually use their backup quarterback in any meaningful way. Because God, did he suck. I never understood why, like, why they don't wear boots. Okay, hear me out. When you go into battle, like they're doing, you don't effing wear sandals. At least not unless you're in the Roman Empire. And if you're planning to get hit by other large men and maintain traction without rolling your ankle, etc., it makes sense to wear something that rises up and protects the ankle. Like when I walk or hike, whether it's in the neighborhood or on a trail, I wear boots. And so many times I have went to roll my ankle and the boot has saved me. My ankle rolls, the boot stops the motion, my ankle is fine. And I'm sitting there watching them get their little ankles run over, and I'm thinking, why in the hell don't they wear boots? If you were going to war, you would wear boots. This is a war. You're fighting the other team, you're pushing and shoving and landing on each other and stuff. Wear some frickin' boots, for crying out loud. It's obvious. You could probably prevent 80% of all ankle injuries by wearing boots. The bottoms of them can be the same. It can be a cleat from the ankle down. But they need to have ankle protection. The ankle can move, David. Yeah, have you ever broken in a good pair of boots? The ankle can absolutely move. That's why soldiers and police officers wear boots. Do you think they would wear boots in combat if they didn't have ankle mobility, man? Are you kidding me? Sounds like someone who's never broken in a good pair of boots. Now, I get that the ankle will be able to easily move more when it's not encumbered at all. But you can definitely have a lot of mobility in a good pair of boots. Yeah. But I'm just saying, just from an injury standpoint, you can definitely move in boots. Boots offer you a lot of security in your footing, which actually will let you do more from like a standpoint of pivoting than you would be able to do without ankle support. That's it. For running faster, these guys don't, like, it's a couple of pounds. Yeah, the boots are heavier. Nah, run with boots on. What you would do then is you train in the equipment that you wear. So they would be, in this scenario, they would be training in boots as well. Anyway, that's my rant for today. I hate it when they get their little ankles rolled, because all I ever think is if you had a little bit of ankle support, it would be like people playing hockey with figure skates on. It would be like playing hockey with like the flimsy like figure skating skates. It wouldn't make sense, because in hockey you're hitting each other, you're hitting the boards, you're pivoting quickly, you're falling, you're fighting. And so in hockey they wear hockey skates, which are solid and they stop the ankle from having a lot of mobility. It's kind of like that. Anyway, that's it. That's my sports rant for today, just something that was on my mind. It doesn't have to make sense. I'm not an athletic doctor or an athletic trainer. David thinks he is, though. So we'll take David's word for it this morning and humor him. What's the curse? The curse turns me into an undead. Cursed Eye of Peleth. Physical damage dealt is reduced by 8. Casting speed is reduced by 20. So it's just a really crappy curse. Yeah. I should pop my underwater breathing potion. Let's get that done. Are we looking for an item here yet? Or are we... Yeah, we're looking for Snelling's stuff. Which, that's going to be around the other side. I'm going to clear the deck of the ship first. Can I climb up the rudder? I feel like I can. This is not the boat I need, is it? This is not the boat with the snuff box. Yeah, this is the boat with the captain. I need the other boat. Jason, this area is low-key tough. Yeah. Well, I know. I appreciate it. I know. I just like, I'm not rushing or anything, but I just kind of want to clean up an area. I want to get the wetlands done, and I want to get everything out of the quest log for the wetlands. And then I don't really, and I want to see like where that leaves me level-wise. I really want to find out, like, when I'm done with the wetlands, what level am I going to be? Is my plan to hit level 34 before going into Stranglethorn going to happen, or am I going to have to do something else? That's kind of what I'm curious to find out. Let's see if we can sneak down here. We don't have to sneak because we can breathe underwater. We are going to have to fight both these guys at the same time. So I'm gonna pop Stone Skin. I'm gonna stun you for a second. We have potions, we have mana. I could probably back them out onto the land a bit. Just gonna make it easier for us if anything goes wrong. Alright, they don't run, so that's good. I could probably just pop a heal here just to be like super safe. Alex, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Alex, you found a nice one-hander in RFK? I'm gonna check Atlas Loot in a second. I don't need these I don't need these guys. What am I doing? Let's go back towards the boat. RFK, you say? RFK. Oh, here we go. Oh, this one? It's healing. Yeah, increases damage done by shadow spells. That's a weird one. That's a bit of a weird one. Probably not the one you're talking about, I guess. Corpse Maker is a two-hander. One-handed axe. This one right here, Strength and Spirit. That's pretty cool. What is this guy doing? Why do I have marks? What level was that? That was level 31 equipable. Okay. Yeah. What level would we want to be to do RFK? At least level 31 apparently. But probably more than that. We got issues here. Maybe at like level 33 I could tank it? I don't know. I like how we have to kill 13 of the cursed sailors. That's great. 13 of them. What's the hotkey for marking? I have my marks bound to my number pad. So I can do that. At least a few of them. I don't know what I have up here. No, that's all I have. But I don't think there is a default, I don't know that there is a default key binding for the marks. I think you have to go into... I had to go into my key bindings and I had to set them up to go on my number pad. Forsaken Pally confirmed. Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to kind of like come into the stream and be like, what happened to the Paladin? Why are we on a Forsaken? You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen eventually. I know I can breathe underwater, I just like, I don't really like to fight underwater in general. I can't really tell like directional facing. I have trouble telling if I'm in front of the enemy or not. I really don't like fighting in the water. This guy with us really hates it because he doesn't probably have underwater breathing potion. And he's probably having a heck of a time. Now you can come over here and you can be out of the water actually. That's pretty nice. We need to make some bandages. When turned into an undead, don't you get the prolonged underwater breathing? No, 6s you don't. That would be cool though. Because you're not really turned into an undead. You just got a bad curse on you, and being an undead is how they like visually illustrate it. But no, you don't gain the benefit of their underwater breathing. Blood Moon, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Undead druids would be sick, literally. Obesia, really? They'd be sick, literally, really, really. I feel like our buddy, has he killed anything, or is he just marking stuff for me to kill? Like, I don't need someone who's just marking stuff for me to kill. That's not helpful to me. I'm pretty sure the dude's like floating up top. He's like, just hang out up top. This guy's down there with underwater breathing, taking care of things. I don't need to carry somebody through a quest. That's not really why I'm here. I could use exorcism on these guys, but it's so much mana for like so little result. I need the first aid expert book. Yeah, I do. I'll have to go get it eventually. It's fine. We'll make so many bandages that like we'll have plenty of time to skill it up. I know that I'm capped out, and that's very bothersome. There was one guy here, and then suddenly there were two guys here. I think I got a respawn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that we got a respawn here, because I did not pull two guys. That's a decent time to level up. And speaking of that, I should change the title of the stream to reflect level 31. There we go. Boop. I guess I should spend the talent point. I think we're going into the movement speed increase, which is exciting. I really want to spend the 2 points here. That's what I would really like to do. And then maybe come back for Devotion Aura. Because I eventually want to get down to Kings also. I'm going to take the speed for now. Yeah, it's up to 8% movement speed both on feet and mounted. I feel like it's worth it. I only need Marines. I need one more Marine and we can get out of here. This wasn't too bad. Alright, last one. Okay, let's see if we can find any of the giant crocolisk. Yesterday we looked in the area and like the 3 of them that it would spawn were being like pretty heavily farmed out, so We'll see. Yeah, here's some ones that have been killed. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's kind of feeling like the same thing. I think you can only find these guys in the one area. Yeah, see, that's the problem. It's only this small area, so like everybody who wants to do the quest, we have to do it right here. These guys are always farmed out. Yeah, David, we're going to stay on the Paladin at least until next week. Like, next week I might do a little bit on the Night Elf Warrior that we created. Just to let the Paladin get rested XP. But, you know, for this week and probably, like, if I stream over the weekend, we're going to probably stick on the, Paladin for a bit. I want her to have rested XP, but, like, I really don't want to stop playing the character, like, for any length of time. So, yeah, like, I might just alternate days next week. I might do one day on the Warrior, one day on the Paladin, because I don't think I want to put her on the shelf for, like, any significant amount of time. I want to make progress, so. Joseph, what happened to the Orc Warrior? Well, they died weeks ago, yeah. Yeah, we got 2 Orc Warriors killed. That was weeks ago, man. If you want to see the Orc Warrior death, it's actually in the VOD that's titled Shaman Episode 1. Because we died 20 minutes into the stream. And then I played around on a Shaman for that day. So the Shaman Episode 1 VOD, in the first 20 minutes, has the last Warrior's death. Yeah, it's weird. I apologize. It's so weird because like my alternatives are like, so I was 20 minutes into the stream. In order for me to cut the VOD for it to like be its own VOD, I would have had to end that stream, leave it thumbnailed and titled for the Warrior 20 minutes, and then I have to start up another stream. So everyone gets booted, then everyone has to come back in. It's like, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't have a way to like be in the stream and say, okay, this VOD cuts right here. Next VOD that goes up starts right here. Like, I don't have a way to do that. It seems like a functionality that you'd want to have on YouTube, where your live stream instantly becomes a VOD. You'd think you'd want an ability to kind of cut that VOD up into segments, like, as you stream. But right now, there's no way to do it. So yeah, some of the character deaths end up being on the episode 1 of the next character. Just because, like, I'm, like, a little bit into the stream, and then I have to retitle it, re-thumbnail it, etc. A little bit of jankiness. You were on vacation and came back? That's a nice long vacation, man. I hope it was fun. Yeah, I'm well and over it. We were level 27, so I've already surpassed the level of that warrior. And we have another warrior kind of started up. I'm gonna be doing a night elf warrior to kind of like let the paladin get some rested XP next week a little bit. So like we're gonna revisit the warrior. It's gonna be a slower roll, and we're gonna do some things a little bit differently. I think for this warrior, I'm just gonna go into the fury tree. Like we always go into the arms tree. I always go for the bleeds and stuff. I think I'm just gonna go like straight into the fury tree, and just see how that goes. See if it feels any different. It'll probably feel basically the same. The Grouser, thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. I keep coming back to the idea this quest is not worth it. Do you guys think this quest is even worth it? Like, it doesn't spawn any of them in. And even when it does, they don't always drop the item. I wish there was just more stuff to fight, like, in the area in general. It would make waiting for them to spawn less painful. Because I wouldn't be wasting a bunch of time. Monica, on Monday will I start the Nelf Warrior? I think maybe. Yes, I think so. I don't want to fully commit to anything, but yes, I think maybe. Alternately, you know, I might do an evening stream tonight, and I might start them tonight, and that's why I say maybe. Because there's a chance I do a later stream tonight, and maybe I start the Nelf then. I don't know. I've been kind of bouncing a couple of ideas around. For what I want to do going forward. Viper, I already talked about the Lions. I talked about football as much as I can talk about football per the NFL. And their standards. Right on, Alex. Yeah, I think I will. I think at level 9, once I get that Night Elf to level 9, then I'll be ready to come over to like Elwyn Forest and stuff. But that leaves me a bit of time to spend over in Teldrassil. Yeah, I really don't like this quest. I don't see a lot of people, so it's kind of weird that we're not finding any of them. Yesterday we couldn't find any of them, but there were people that I could see nearby killing them. And today that's not the case, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I think, yeah, like this is a regular croc. I can't even get kill XP from it. I'm done with this one. I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna be done with that one. And we're gonna head over to the excavation site, and we're gonna work on all this stuff down here, including war banners. And we're just gonna get that stuff done. The other layers are killing them off. I don't think it works that way. We might be in a layer where the respawn rate is slow. You know, we might be in a layer without people in it, and then therefore like the respawn rate could be slow. That could be what's happening. And that could be like, that could explain why I didn't see a lot of people. We could have our own personal layer where nothing respawns. Just like what everybody wants out of the game. Track beast is easy on the hunter. It just feels like there aren't any though. Because like here's the thing about track beast is like by the time it shows up on the mini map, like with a clear line of sight, I can see it. You know what I mean? It's like in certain areas where you don't have a clear field of vision, then like track beast is really helpful. But in a scenario where I can see off into the distance, like if it shows up on the mini map like this just did, I can probably see it. That's kind of how I always felt about track beast and track humanoid. Like it's really useful when you're looking for a named guy or like a named mob. But if it's just like you're waiting for a respawn, then it's like I feel like I could see it if they were existing. I'm assuming like the rate at which it picks them up is a similar radius to like track herbs and stuff. Which isn't quite the full radius of the minimap, but seems to be a smaller radius within that. And I feel like that smaller radius is pretty much my field, my line of sight. I am not angling myself the right way. Oh, these guys are all gray. You're all gray. I don't want to fight you. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drop it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna work on all this stuff. We're gonna finish all these off, and then I don't know how many follow-ups there are to that. But yeah, I would like to mainly finish things up here, and I would like to not really come back here again. That would be my dream. my dream is to finish up here today and to not have to come back here again. To know that I'm done with the wetlands. I don't have to keep looking at it in my quest log. I don't have to wonder if I should be going back. I just am ready to be done with it. And then we can work on starting to finish up the rest of the stuff over in Duskwood. And then we'll see what level we are. I want to be level 34 before I head into Stranglethorn. I don't know if we have anything left in Redridge besides what I have. Like maybe I abandoned something. Just Lieutenant Fangor and all the elite stuff. It would be nice to do the elite stuff in Redridge. Yeah, I haven't done any elite quest at all on this character, which is pretty crappy, actually. It's pretty crappy. Electron, hello, good afternoon. Alright, so we're looking for items to click on. Obviously, we're also hunting for raptors of different varieties. We have lots of other people around suddenly. This is the area that we got that blue axe on the original Paladin, and we were about the same level. Shane, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want that axe again. No, I'm hoping that it doesn't spawn. Now, the thing is, it was a level 21 blue axe. And, like, so, at level 30, there's just, like, better stuff. I have a weapon on the way. Yeah. I have a two-handed weapon in the mail that we are going to toy with for a little bit, just for a change of pace. We'll see how it feels. And so, no, I don't want that axe again. It's kind of like, it's the shitty thing about doing green quests, is that the more you're working on green quest, the more the drops you get are going to suck for your character level. Like, we're fighting level 25 enemies, so any loot that drops off these guys is going to be anywhere between level 18 and level 22. And we don't need that. So it's like, if you're looking for items to sell, like if you're looking for awesome blue drops so you can sell them on the auction house, then yeah, then doing green quest is great. It's fine. But if you want drops to happen that are actually like good for your character level when they happen, then like doing green quest sucks. That's kind of what I figured out. It's like, yeah, we can get a blue weapon to drop here. It's going to be a level 21, but we're level 31. That's not really good for us anymore. Yeah. That's kind of something I've thought about. And then again, like, when you get a blue drop, there's absolutely no guarantee it's going to be something that you can use anyway. And so focusing on yellow enemies just so that your drops are better is also a little bit pointless. I guess realistically, like, the good drops that happen are going to be like when we're in the level 40s and 50s. Because then we're not going to be fighting stuff that's like lots and lots of levels below us for the most part. I still remember getting like an epic axe in Ungoro Crater on my original warrior back in the day. Big moment. Like, random purple axe drop. Two-handed axe that my guy could use. It was one of the most incredible feelings that I've ever had in the game. So yeah, I mean, maybe something like that'll happen for us someday. Alex, do you need the elite quest, or have you already done them? Is that what you're saying? That you've already completed them? I don't want anybody to do it who doesn't need the quest. Yeah, I don't want to use up somebody's time unless they need the quest. It's kind of like a thing. Nah, it's okay. I appreciate it, man. No, I don't want to use up anybody's time just to get me through it. It's kind of like, it's like in one scenario where like we all need it, then we're helping each other. Like in the other scenario where only I need it, then I'm being carried through it. That's kind of how I feel about it. But I appreciate it though. If I had any like diligence, I would just go back and I would spam for a group for a couple minutes. You know, maybe I ought to like just head back and try to spam for a group for a couple. I'm sure I could find a group. If I had any patience with looking in general chat, I could probably find a group. You know, there's like 100 people there. It's just like a patience thing. Oh, I know, Window, but for what I'm doing, I just don't want to feel like I'm just being carried through stuff. That's all. It's just a me thing. Yeah. I get it. It's like part of it is because it's the hardcore challenge, but yeah, I just like... I've gotten help with some stuff before. But when it comes to like an elite quest, I'd rather like, either if I'm gonna do it, I'd rather be grouped up with people who need the quest. It's gonna be more interesting that way. This is a nice spot to grind. Yeah, these guys are not very dangerous anymore. They respawn like super fast, as this guy's finding out. and yeah, we can skin them. I think they're all dropping medium leather. I should start selling medium leather on the auction house, but it's like it like vendors for 15 a stack, or it auction houses for 20 silver a stack. Maybe heavy leather will sell for a lot. I could just hold on to the leather and like kind of wait for the price to go up a bit. That's always an option. I'd like to sell it for 30 or 40 silver. That would be like the ideal price that would get me to the auction house or get me to actually send it to my bank alt. Would be if I could sell it for like 30 or 40 silver a stack. Most, what is so addicting about WoW? I don't know that the game is just addicting. I think like addiction is a very specific thing that affects very specific people. The game is very fun. The very enjoyable things about WoW Classic is that everything you do in the game really matters from level 1. So like every piece of gear you get is valuable. You wear it for a long time. Everything you do is important. Leveling up your professions is important. Leveling up your sub-professions is important. Grouping up with people is important. Everything you do in WoW Classic is important from level 1. And I think that's what people are really drawn to. It has much more of a feel of an actual RPG journey than something like retail or some other modern MMOs. But addiction's something different, my man. Yeah, it's just that it's a really good RPG. Yeah, every talent point you spend matters. The game makes sense. It's easy to learn the game. It's easy to learn, difficult to master. But you can learn it and master it without reading a bunch of guides, without watching a bunch of how-to videos. You know, you can get into the game, you can read your abilities, you can read the talents, and you can have an idea of what you want to do to make your character how you want. And yeah, it's a really good, big, open-world RPG. Every area is distinct. Like, the most exciting thing for me back in the day was opening the map and knowing that every single one of these areas that I saw was going to be totally different visually, was going to have completely different enemies for me to fight and encounter, and was going to have different sorts of quests and different NPCs to interact with. Just looking at, like, the scope of the world. That was what really, like, pulled me in back in the day. When my friend explained, like, each of these areas was going to be a place that I could go have adventures. Yeah, it's like WoW Classic is about the journey. It's about the journey in a way that retail WoW is not any longer. It's about the journey in a way that other MMORPGs are no longer about. That's what's really alluring for people, is there's not this idea that they have to get to endgame. There's not this idea that only endgame matters. There's not this idea that they have to run 27 Mythic Plus keys every week. They don't have to worry about filling their Great Vault. There's none of the additional garbage that eventually got bolted onto the game to make people say, the real game starts at endgame. Like, none of that exists in Classic. And that's why more and more people are drawn to it. They can have a real gameplay experience that's meaningful right from character creation all the way through the journey. Elisa, good morning. John, good morning. Happy Friday. I should be looking for the last artifact. I think one of them is typically up this hill back here. It's not always there, but sometimes it is. Let's go up there and we'll have a look. There's also going to be a named guy up there, and we can kind of scope out what level he's going to be. Yeah, I mean, retail leveling is empty. It's empty by design. Because there's so many places in retail now for you to take your character that, like, unless you're leveling through the current expansion content upon release, you just don't see anybody playing the game. It gives it a weird vibe, because the game world was originally built and intended to, like, have people visible in it. So when you take the visible people away, yeah, the world feels empty, because you can design like a single player RPG and have the world feel full and alive, but you do that by like specific use of NPCs and events and things like that. But when you're designing an MMO, like, you don't do all that extra work because the game is designed to have players running around in it, so you don't have to have as many NPCs kind of inhabiting it. And that's what like retail suffers from when it comes to, like, not only is your journey to level super short, nothing you do is really impactful. Like, the gear is not going to last. The talent points are going to get respected endgame once you read a guide. Yeah, but then also the journey is kind of empty. There are tons of places and ways to level up in retail, and so you rarely ever come across somebody doing exactly what you're doing. Unless you're leveling through the current expansion content and it's near release of the expansion. The only thing that would fix that would be a complete world revamp, and unfortunately it would mean that they'd have to get rid of chromie time. You can't have chromie time and ensure a leveling experience from level 1 where other players are going to be visible. You can't do it and have chromie time, and they're never going to get rid of chromie time. So they're never going to be able to ensure or have a vibrant world full of players unless we're talking about standing around in the endgame city. The endgame city in retail, whatever city that is for the current expansion, whether it's Oribos or Veldraken, that's going to be the only place where you see people. Because unless they did a world revamp and coupled that with the deletion of chromie time, there's still going to be so many different paths to go from level 1 to whatever that you're never going to encounter people. There isn't a fix for it that they're going to enact. Yeah, exactly. You don't play in the endgame city, you just sit there. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's why it doesn't make up for it, you know? There being so many people in the endgame city that my frame rate goes down to 45 FPS. That doesn't make up for the fact that when I level up, I don't see anybody. Yeah, but that's the problem. Is that when you have a million different ways for a character to get to max level, people are going to be split up. You're not going to see people. But then if you restrict people and you only give them like a classic style leveling path, people will not be happy with that. Even if you do it in the name of making the world feel alive, there are people that don't care about that. There are people that will feel like their choices have been removed, and they would be right. And so we'll always have chromie time in retail. Even when they remake the old world, it's not going to matter, because like except for the initial release, the world is always going to feel empty. It's kind of an impossible problem to solve, you know? How many items do I need? I need an Ados fragment and a Modir fragment. I got the one from up here, right? That's done. They all look a little bit different. Unfortunately, I don't remember what each of them looks like. So we'll just scan around for a bit. It's okay if we have to do some additional grinding here. Oh, here's one of them. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. We need the Niru fragment and the Modir fragment. Okay, so this was the Modir. We still need the Niru fragment. Alright. Yeah, so they all look different. Here it is, in the loose soil. I'm waiting for someone to come and just grab this right from beneath us. That's what I'm actually waiting for. Alright, looks like we're gonna get it. Alright, I know we're gonna get a follow-up to go kill the named guy. I wouldn't mind doing some grinding here, but let's go turn these in. And then we can come down. Oh god, I gotta skin all this though. Someone is not looting their corpses, and that's incredibly rude. It's incredibly rude. Oh dang, I have 3 stacks of medium. Okay, I'm gonna start firing that off to the bank alt. I'm gonna try to put it up for 30 silver a stack. Maybe I'll be able to sell it for 30 silver a stack. The last one I sold it for 20 silver. I would really like to get 30 silver a stack. That one disappeared as I was skinning it. So rude.
What's on your mind? Off with you. Watch your back. Hello. See you soon.
Alright, now we'll do a little bit of grinding. And mainly for the skinning, almost mainly for skinning. In full transparency, I spent a lot of gold today. I have a two-handed weapon coming for us, but I did spend a significant chunk of gold on my bank alt. So we have 4 gold here, so we're not doing awful. We should be able to afford level 32 abilities, is all that means. But yeah, I did sell a chunk of gold today. Or use a chunk of gold, rather. So, you know, getting some of the leather and being able to sell that for a little bit would be a huge boon at this point. I was thinking about like Scarlet Monastery Library soon too, but then I kind of thought like maybe we don't even do library until we can also do armory, because there's not a lot going on in library, you know. There's caster stuff. Oh god, this stuff is not even blue. Are you kidding me? The Mantle of Dawn and the robe were not blues in Classic Era. Oh, that's so bad. Oh no, yeah, we're not gonna make a trip just to do library. We'll do library when we're ready to also do armory, because that's just awful. There's only like the 2 bosses and they don't drop anything. It's also really short. Yeah, there's no good drops, and there's not a lot of kill XP to be had because there's only the 2 bosses. If there was a bunch of kill XP, like I care less about drops if I can also get like a chunk of XP. But with only the 2 bosses, it won't be. Does anyone know, do we have to do Graveyard to get the key to Library? Or no, Library is open by default, right? And then from Library we get the key for Armory, from Armory we get the key for Cathedral. Yeah, we don't have to do Graveyard, do we? I guess like it might be worth popping our heads in the Graveyard to see if any of the rares are spawned. If the rares spawn, then they drop some pretty good loot. But it didn't look like any of the normal guys dropped anything good. Library has the first key. Okay. So we don't have to do Graveyard. But maybe when we go there we do Graveyard, Library, Armory. And we just do them all at once. Yeah, I think I'd like to, let's see, what are the levels for Armory? 37. Okay, so like when I'm level 38, when I'm 38, that I think would be a good time to go do Graveyard, Library, Armory. And then after that, we probably do Armory like every day. Yeah, after that we do Armory every day until we can do Cathedral and Armory every day, and then we do that every day until we are like out level for it. Because I feel like they're really easy dungeons, and we're gonna get a ton of kill XP. On top of the fact that there's also a lot of good loot in there. I'd like to get to a point where like at least for a few days, like for maybe like 3 days, we can do Armory, 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 Cathedral, Cathedral, Cathedral. Like there should be a 2-week period where like between Armory and Cath, we can run something each day. Some of them we might be able to do both of them in one day, like for a while. I'm pretty excited about it. I think doing a bunch of Scarlet Monastery is going to be what gets us like ahead of the leveling curve. It's going to get us to the point where like we get to level 47 and look, we still have quests to do. Because we've been getting so much kill XP in dungeons. The Desolace quest, yeah. Okay, yeah. And so especially if we're waiting till I'm level 38 to go at all, I should have time for sure to get out to Desolace and get that quest. It's like a level 30 something quest, isn't it? Yeah, that gives me a lot of time to do that. Let's see. Desolace. Feralist, Desolace. Bodyguard for hire. Is it part of a chain? Oh, we could do stuff here soon. Some of it at least. Yeah, we'll have to head out. I think we might go to Desolace before we go into Stranglethorn. Maybe we could go into Desolace at like level 33 and do a little bit. The skeleton quest down to the south. Okay. Yeah, for that one we might want to be more like level 36. We'll see. Maybe we will have to do like the beginning part of Stranglethorn first. No named guy. This is the only place he spawns in. So we could hang out. I'll probably head back down and we'll fight a little bit more. If we see another player coming up here, then we'll come up and invite them to the group. But otherwise we'll do a little bit of grinding down below. He should respawn pretty quickly. I guess named guys, you know how for like a while they were respawning like every 10 seconds? I guess they're not quite doing that anymore. It seems like that respawn rate has chilled out a little bit. Yeah, for a while it was 10 seconds. Yeah, I think they've kind of normalized it back to how it was. Now that they have a million layers to split people up, it's not as impactful. I see a player beelining it for the hillside. I'm gonna run up there right after we kill this one. Oh, there we go, that worked out. Full disclosure, my wife has brought me a delicious looking tuna sandwich, and after this kill, I am probably going to go camera dark, and I am going to eat. We will farm some of these guys down here while I eat, since it is relatively safe. But yeah, I'm going to turn my cam off and mute myself for a couple minutes here. Seems like a good time for a little lunch, and the area is safe enough that I feel comfortable continuing to play. So yeah, I am going to do that. Let me pin a comment here. I will pin that, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Alright, let's go turn this one in, and then we'll see what we want to do next. We are getting a little full on inventory. Kenneth, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. This guy moves around. I'm telling you, he's trying to get us to fall off the cliff. Why else would he be moving around like that? Look how close he is to the edge. God, what a jerk.
Interest you on a pint?
I'm not sure what's going on here. Well, I mean, I do see what's going on here. This is Blizzard design from 2004. We can see that a lot of things have changed in the last 20 years, but this was what you did back in 2004. So there you go. Unfortunately, we can't wear it. It's not good for us, but I mean, it is what it is. It looks good, especially on the dwarf.
Hey, good.
There you go. If that doesn't do it for you, I don't know what will. It's hopeless. Oh, we have mail. Yeah, we have mail. We have a big two-hander waiting for us. I mean, David, I didn't see any straps or anything holding it on that wood chafe. It just seemed like it was holding itself up. That's probably a magical item. Let's go after the war banners. Shay, good morning. Thanks for being here. Do they actually run away, or is he... Okay, at least he actually runs away. I was wondering if the net was just like a distraction to get me to waste my mana. But no, they will apparently run away sometimes. It's crazy to me, like, how many orcs in the game have swords, when, like, immediately when you think of an orc warrior, you think of them using, like, axes. Yeah, I always think of them using axes, like, more than I think about them using one-handed swords. But it's funny, like, how many orcs in the game, like, how many NPCs that you fight that are orcs actually are wielding one-handed swords. When, like, they ought to be wielding, like, axes and maces. It seems to, like, fit them a little bit better, but no, they all have swords. They're dual-wielding. They're dual-wielding, like, cutlasses, which is strange to me. And not a lot of them have war banners. It's apparently a little bit of a, like, slower drop rate here. Same thing here. This guy is sword and boarding. Where are the axes? He's got just like a human short sword. Doesn't really seem to fit. Oh my god, we have to drink our mana back? No. It's because they keep making me change my blessing. We have to go from Blessing of Freedom to Blessing of Might to Blessing of Freedom, and they are making us have to drink. I did not bring a lot of water because we've had to drink about like 5 times outside of dungeons the entire playthrough. So I'm hoping that 8 water is going to be enough. But with the drop rate being what it is, I don't know that it will be. We will have to see. I don't really want to deal with the guys with pets. This seems like the kind of pet that's going to have a lot of HP, and that's going to beat on us for a while, so I really don't want to deal with that if we don't have to. Kind of want to focus on the melee guys. I don't know why I was hoping the parachute cloak would be like a parachute backpack, but that wouldn't make sense. It's called the parachute cloak. Good evening. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Well, here we go. We are going to find out what they can do. Not a lot so far. Player damage is bad. Okay. So not too bad, but yeah, he does have quite a bit of HP for a pet. Ra, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Mr. Chewy, good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Nicholas, can I show my spec? I can open that up in a second. Yep. As soon as I'm not rooted. So that's what we're working with. And then we have some points spent over in Holy. The plan is to grab the second point in Pursuit of Justice, and then we're probably going to grab some stuff in the Protection Tree. Red aura is not better. It's a trade-off. So with red aura, you deal a little bit of damage to them, but you take a little bit more damage. And with devotion aura, you don't deal any additional damage to them, but you take less damage. So it's a trade-off. We're not spec'd into either aura yet. I think eventually we are going to spec into improved devotion aura, and then for us it will be better. But it really is it's a trade-off. Have I been close to dying yet? Only, no. No, not really. I had to use lay on hands. Have we used lay on hands twice? I've only had to use lay on hands twice, I think. Maybe only once that I can remember for sure was with the Shadow Weavers in Duskwood. We had to Divine Protection, and then we also had to lay on hands. But by that point, we were leashing them, so that was as close as it got, and I wouldn't count that as being very close. We had an SFK run where we accidentally pulled the entire bridge room. And we didn't almost die, but that could have been a death had we not been able to run away. That was kind of a crazy one. The craziest part about the SFK thing is that everybody lived, like nobody died. SFK is probably like one of the only dungeons that's going to happen just because you can jump out. You can jump down into the courtyard. And if you make it to the courtyard, like, by jumping down, they have to run all the way around to get to you. It's probably one of the only places where you can have such an epic pull gone so wrong and not have it kill somebody. Is this guy gonna find help over there? I can't tell if he's recruiting help or... yeah, he's got some help. We have a cooldown here on this. That's fun. And we're gonna leash this stuff. Bye! I'd like to keep the one guy. Maybe we can keep the one guy and leash the other guy. There we go. Yeah, we put a lot of work into him. We might as well keep him. And we are done. That works out perfectly. Let's get out of here. Two-handed fighter broadsword of the tiger. Okay. Alright, so let's head back to town. We're gonna turn these two in, and then I think we're gonna get a follow-up for war banners. We'll probably get a follow-up. We're not gonna do that right now. We might also get a follow-up for the cursed crew. I think we're gonna hold off on that as well. And I think we're gonna hearth back to Duskwood. Yeah, we could probably do this now. I could probably find that thing in the yard to dig up. Legend of Stalvan. Where does this go? Back to the clerk. Okay. Eventually, we should be able to get the 2 Shadow Weavers we need. We'll go take a look. Amber Crobby's crate. We should be able to do this. The ogres are not that big of a threat. We don't have to go into the mound. The ogre monocle, though, we do have to go into the mound. So this one we might not be able to do. We might not. When do I use consecration? Only when I'm tanking. Typically only when I'm tanking a dungeon. That was really the only reason that I spent the talent point on it. Was so that we can tank. Hold some AoE threat. Alex, if you're at the Shadow Weavers, then yeah, that would be cool. When I'm out that way, we can group up for that if you need those guys. And then we could probably turn right around and do the follow-up as well, which is going to be for like the other guys. And we could probably get both of them done. You're on the follow-up? Alright, right on. Yeah, we'll group up once I'm out that way. I have to, I'm gonna be equipping a two-handed mace here in a minute. So I'm gonna go have to smack some, I'm gonna have to smack some smaller things around to get that skilled up to where I can actually be useful. I might come out here and hit Murlocs or hit Crocolisk or something for a minute. There's probably some wargs I could probably fight in Duskwood. I don't think I have any skill with any two-handed weapons at all. Yeah, we got 24 out of 155, so yeah, we got a little ways to go to get that skill up. I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna get out of the mailbox. I mailed it to myself earlier. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. I probably paid too much money for it, to be fair. Marson, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for saying so and for being here. I tried to get him, but I couldn't get him.
How are you?
What's it like playing WoW in 2023? Well, playing classic WoW in 2023 is pretty
Keep
awesome.
your feet on the ground.
It's a really good time. Lots of people are enjoying it. Let's see. Destroy the Dragon Ball catapults. Okay, yeah, that's the one. We're probably gonna hold off on that one. I will hold off till later. I don't want to keep coming back here, but we could hold off on it.
Hello. Have a good one.
What can I do for you? For the Alliance. Have a good one.
Alright, so this is the hammer. Level 30, plus 34 attack power, which is, you know, it's not 15 strength, but it's attack power, so that's good. I am going to drag the shield and the one-hander out to the bar so we can easily swap between these. Because we're probably going to have to, at least for a little while.
Can I help you?
Let's hearth back to Darkshire. And we'll find something kind of weak to swing away at for a little bit. I think some of the skellies over here were a bit of a lower level. Let's go check that out. If we're not killing it, we'll just switch back to the one-hander and finish it off, you know. Yes, Shane, it is. Apparently it is. This is going to take some time. Not bad. I mean, with the holy damage, we can kill them even though we can't hit them. We're doing enough holy damage with our judgment that we can kill them. That's kind of perfect. I think I want to stick to the melee guys. I don't think I want to fight the casters though. Yeah, we'll probably start dealing damage around like 100 or so. Around 100, 115 we should actually start to hit a little bit more. We're hitting a little bit. Yeah, it won't take that long. Alright, let's try a caster. I find that we're pretty resilient to frost magic. It's really only fire magic and shadow magic that hurts us a lot. And now we're not getting enough hits in per combat to really skill up much. We're killing them a little quickly. Maybe I'll move down the road a little bit, see if we can find some of the green wargs to fight. Something with a little bit more HP would probably be okay. We'll see if we can hit these guys. Like, if we can hit them at all. Level 28, we should be able to. If we have to switch back to the one-hander and shield, we can. Zach, I have a heal button? I do? No. I do. Carnifex, yeah, that's a good question. And I haven't decided that I'm going to do that. But yeah, it's a good question. And it's been one of the reasons why I haven't been really hot to start leveling up a character in Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, because I really don't know. Because I know that I'm going to play a Worgen when they come out. So part of me thinks, just wait. However, on the Horde side, I do need something on the Horde side that gets to max level. But, you know, I could just level up another class through the Cataclysm stuff. Yeah, the point you pose is part of the reason why nothing is going on. I checked out the Warlock for one day and kind of decided that the Warlock was boring and haven't really thought to revisit it. Alright, I'm going to go turn this one in, and then I'm going to grab the follow-up, and then I will be back. I will probably fight some things along the way to continue to skill up our two-handed maces.
Hey there. Safe travels.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry to go back into Wrath, or even, I'm not really in a hurry for Cataclysm either. Well, it's probably not going to happen until like June or July of next year, so we have plenty of time.
Lights bless you.
Plenty of time to not be playing Wrath of the Lich King. I thought, you know, I like that they're putting the Dungeon Finder in, but like for me, putting the Dungeon Finder in now, it's too little too late. It's not going to spark any interest right now. Like, if they'd have put it back in during, like, Trial of the Crusader, that might have been a better time. I might have had more interest in, like, leveling characters and, like, being able to do the dungeons while I leveled up. But, yeah, at this point in time, not very interesting. Especially since we're going to have a new season of Classic long before we get Cataclysm. So we have much more vanilla era to enjoy before anybody has to think about Cataclysm or anything. If they even decide to go that route, we're just kind of assuming that we're going to hear a Cataclysm announcement at BlizzCon. But they could surprise us, who knows? Yeah, Chris Metzen is back with Blizzard, but he's back as like executive creative director, and that's a retail role. Yeah, he's executive creative director for WoW retail. I don't know, like, I wouldn't expect Chris Metzen to have much of anything to do with Classic. They're definitely got him pegged to fix retail. Robert, was there something in the blue post about Classic? I only saw that his title was Executive Creative Director. And I don't like, does WoW Classic need a creative director? Because when I think of creative director, I think of like story, lore, characters, writing, stuff like that. That's not game director. Like game director is what Ian is. But creative director has to do with the lore, the story, the characters, the way like the world feels, the setting, and stuff like that. That's what a creative director handles. A creative director does not handle the direction necessarily that the game goes from like a standpoint of gameplay or from a standpoint of like Classic Plus or anything like that. That's like a game director thing. And as far as I know, Ian is still game director dude. So yeah. There's another follow-up, Alex? Yeah, absolutely. We can do whatever you have here that I have here, we can do. Which might only be a couple of things. Like now, if they do decide to do Classic Plus in such a way that it deviates from this is fun, that it deviates from like Burning Crusade and Wrath. Let's say like some reality where they were able to like just take Classic in a different direction. Then maybe Metzen would be involved with that, because then we would need like creative development and stuff like that. We are getting absolutely walloped on. I got a bubble and heal here to be safe. There we go. I'm gonna back out of here for a second. We're getting there. We're almost useful. Yeah, exactly. You won't see like a real big Classic Plus unless they can sell it to you for real big money, which makes sense. You know, they can't give you like a real Classic Plus for free and just have it be part of your sub, because there would be no way to get it greenlit, because, you know, you have to be able to make a case to the shareholders that there's going to be money to be made. I think a lot of people would play, like, you know, people probably pay like $39 for a Classic Plus expansion if it was truly a new expansion that took the game in a different direction. I think that there would be so many people curious about that, like just curious as to like, where are we going? What is it going to be like? I think there are so many people that would be curious about that, even people who don't play Classic right now. Because a lot of people who don't play Classic, they say, well, like, why would I play Classic again? I played the crap out of it back in the day, and why would I play it again? That's why, like, a lot of people don't play Classic who still play retail. But if they did a Classic Plus where they took like an expansion path that was just different, like we don't go to Outland, we go somewhere else, I think there would be a ton of people super interested in what that would be like. And I think it would be really easy to market it and sell it to people for lots and lots of money. And if I know that, someone at Blizzard has to be thinking about it too. Like I said, I don't think it'll be soon, but I think in the next 2 years, if Classic does well, like if Hardcore continues to do well, and the new season of Mastery does well, I think within 2 years you could see real Classic Plus and expansions worth of content like people want. And I think by then, like, everyone will be hyper interested in what that would be like. We are done here, yes. We are absolutely done here. I think part of Classic Plus would be more content beyond 60, regardless. Like, the biggest thing to remember, Carson, is that, like, Classic is about the big journey. That's what people like in Classic. What people like in Classic is that it is about a really big, really long journey with your character, where everything you do in the game matters from level 1. There isn't an end game to get to. There's stuff you can do at end game, but there isn't an end game treadmill to get on. The way there's an end game treadmill in retail and most other games these days, there's not a treadmill. There are some raids you can clear every week. If you have a guild and you want to do raids, there's a handful of raids you can do. But there aren't any world quests, there's no renown to farm, there's no dragon tidbits to find, there's no tender nuggets to spend on the trading post, there's no great vault, there's no world quest, there's no micro events happening every 30 minutes throughout the zone that you gotta open your map and go to them, there's no rares you gotta fly around and kill every single day. Like, there is no endgame treadmill. And so there's no reason to rush to endgame because the game is simply the journey. So part of a Classic Plus would be more levels, more content. But part of it could also be revisiting the older zones and finishing some of the quest lines don't quite like conclude. There's a couple of them here actually that are like that, where it seems like there would be more and then there's really not. And yeah, you could do that. You could revamp some zones, like places like Ajara where there are no quests. You could go there and you can make that like a level 20 to 30 leveling zone.
Need help?
So yeah, there's absolutely like things they can do throughout the current content they can make better, but also adding more content
With honor, friend.
post 60. Yeah, I think doing both would be good. We are in a huge group. What's going on with the group? Are we doing something? What are we working on? Yeah, finishing unfinished zones. Yep, finishing quest chains that kind of abruptly end. Visiting zones that there's just like not a lot to do, like places like Tannerus. Not Tannerus, Silithus. Places like Ajara. There are lots of places where they could simply just add more content. But also I think it's important that we see something new. If you're talking about selling people a Classic Plus, then we need to see some new zones. Some of those new zones could kind of be worked into the leveling. Like I said, there are zones that aren't really used. They could go in, they could totally add content to a bunch of different zones. But I think more than that, like we have to go somewhere new. Let's see something new in the Eastern Kingdoms or in Kalimdor. Like so that we can get a little bit extra. Like I don't think the journey ends at 60 necessarily. If you want to sell people like box copy content, you're gonna have to have some more content to do to push the progression forward. Maybe we only push it forward by 5 levels in expansion this time. But yeah, there would have to be more. It couldn't just be adding stuff to the old world if they were going to try to sell it to you. Just adding stuff to the old world they could do and then not charge you. Like, people would appreciate that. But if they wanted to market like a big box copy, they're going to have more. Adding some new races would be good. Yep. Yep, adding some new races. Not high elves and ogres, but maybe high elves and high elves, blood elves, worgen, draenei. Please not goblins, but obviously goblins. Yeah, stuff like that too. Hasank W with the $5 super. Thanks so much, man. That's really generous of you. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Are we just gonna steamroll the rest of the zone like this? Is this what we're doing? So wait, they didn't spawn enough in to complete the quest? Alright. Gnome paladins in Classic Plus? I hope some kind of horde, like a horde race. Like if you put the Blood Elves in, it's obvious. And then like probably, I don't know about Draenei. I don't know about Draenei in Classic Plus. Because like unless you do the Outland expansion, like Draenei don't really fit, you know what I mean? So like if you're doing a Classic Plus where you're not going to Outland, I don't think you do Draenei. I think you do High Elves. I think the first thing you do is you do High Elves, Blood Elves. Just make people happy. Give people what they want, because they didn't originally. You know how long had Alliance players like demanded High Elves? And Blizzard told them no, it's not going to happen, and it didn't happen. Eventually we got Void Elves, and you can make them into High Elves basically with the eye color options. But yeah, I think you do it right the second time around. And you give us High Elves on the Alliance side, Blood Elves on the Horde side. Look at that, both factions get to play Elves. Everybody's super happy. The Horde finally have an attractive race to play. And Alliance players get High Elves. It's really simple. And then you give the Blood Elves Paladin. And then you let Dwarfs be Shaman. Dwarfs become your Shamans on the Alliance side. And you let High Elves do whatever you want High Elves to do, you know? They could probably do most things. Alright, I realize that we are done here. We don't need to keep fighting. Yeah, the Blood Elves were fallen High Elves, basically. And there are pockets of High Elves that exist in Classic. They're all over the place. So there's no reason why a player couldn't be a High Elf. There are High Elves all over the place. Why couldn't the player be one of those? Yeah, I'm talking, Mark. I'm talking more along the lines of if they were to do a big Classic Plus, it would have to be an expansion, and that would be an opportunity to go a different route. Like instead of going into Outland, we stay here. We stay on Azeroth. We do something entirely different. And I think that like we just kind of continue to stay like on Azeroth. And yeah, just going a whole different route with it. I think so many people would be super interested in that. There are lots of people who play retail and they only play retail because they feel like oh, I played vanilla and I played BC and I played Wrath and I played Cat. Why would I want to do it again? They probably like classic, but they just don't want to repeat the content because, you know, maybe they did it a lot back in the day. So like for those people, you could easily pull those retail players in if you did like new content in classic that took it in a totally different direction.
Be careful.
So many retail players who like they don't play classic because they did it all before, like those people would be sucked in.
Greetings. Be careful. See you later.
Alright, what next? What next? A Classic Plus where we do Northrend first? You know, originally it was like on the table whether they were going to do Burning Crusade first or they were going to do Northrend first because they were working on them both at the same time for a while. That's how they do a lot of expansions. They'll usually have 2 expansions in development at one time. And then one will be ahead of the other, then eventually they'll decide where to push all the resources, which one they're going to put out first. Are we doing anything else grouped up? Are we going north? Am I following you guys? Are we doing anything? I don't have any quest. Except for, geez, why do I have no quest? I feel like I should have quest. What's going on? Old history book. Sven's Revenge. The Farm. Legend of Stelvan. That's Moonbrook. Look to the Stars. Ogre's Monocle. Ogre Thieves, Abercrombie's Crate. Yeah, that's all I have. Weathered Grave is 35. I guess I'm gonna go grab the, yeah, I'm gonna go down here. I have to go do this. I don't remember what opens up Morladeem or Morbid Fell. But this might be part of it, I guess. I don't know. And then, like, I don't know if this is part of it or not. Abercrombie's Crate is part of something. So I need to do that as well. The thought process I just came to would have taken months of meetings at Blizz. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know how many like creative people who have like soul and who care are like sitting there thinking about classic, you know. It doesn't take a lot to like come up with some good ideas. It just takes like, you know, you have to care. You have to care and you have to know the game. And if you care and you know the game and you have even a modicum of like creativity, you can come up with all kinds of cool things they can do with Classic. I'm just not sure they have anybody on Classic team whose job it is to think that way. They have button pressers and they have like management. So you have like leadership people and button pressing people. And you probably don't have a lot of like creative thinkers currently working on the Classic team. And so it's like, it wouldn't be that it takes meetings. It would be that it would have to be somebody's job to actually like think about like, hey, what can we do with Classic? Like someone would have to have that job. And right now, that's not anybody's job. That's the problem. It's not that my ideas are good or that they're super inventive or creative. It's that it only takes like this much for someone who is familiar with the game and who loves the game to come up with this stuff. And they don't have anybody familiar with the game who loves the game and plays the game working on the Classic team whose job it is to think creatively at all. It's really easy when you're someone like us to like figure out like what would people love to see? What would people pay money to see? Like we can come up with some things, you know, they can all be great. And some of them are big lifts, like from a work perspective, some of them are like light lifts. And we can come up with those things all day, but until it's somebody's job at Blizzard to come up with that stuff, you're never going to see Classic Plus. You'll never see it until like there's job listing posted. Once job listings go up for Classic Team, and then you can think, hey, we might see a Classic Plus expansion soon. Alright, I still don't know where this thing is. And here we are, like 6 levels later, still trying to find. Part of me thinks it's in the house. But that doesn't really line up right. I think it's behind the stump. Well, let's see if we can get at these guys from back here. Might be a better idea. Chris Metzen might change it. Yeah, but Chris Metzen, and I keep having to remind people of this. like Chris Metzen has a very specific job role. He is the executive creative director. Mainly that's a retail job because the executive creative director is responsible for the oversight of the story, of the characters, of the setting, of the feel of the world. They probably have to do with writing the lore and overseeing the overall narrative arc of multiple expansions. That's what the executive creative director does. That's their job. Before him, like Steve Denuser was in charge. Before Denuser, Alex Afrasabi was in charge of that. And so that person's job, they're not on Classic Team. Like when you're looking at the hierarchy of the corporation, Chris Metzen is on Retail Team. Classic Team is a couple of people who are leaders and some button pressers. Like they have different roles that are not nearly as big as like executive creative director of the franchise. Chris is there to make sure that retail eventually feels like Warcraft again. That's his job. He's not a Classic person, at least right now. So I wouldn't expect Chris being there to have any effect on what happens with Classic. If they do decide to do a Classic Plus, if the decision is made to do a Classic Plus expansion, then they will probably consult Metzen on it. He still won't be on the Classic Team, so how much they get to use him will be very limited, because his day job is fixing retail, and that's a huge job. I got it. Thanks, guys. All right, we'll pop over here. We'll get the crate. I don't know if I want to fight my way in to get the monocle. Maybe we'll take a look at what level the ogres are and what kind of damage they can do to us, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm just like, from coming from a corporation and knowing how they're structured and knowing that there's not a lot of leeway just to step outside your role and do something else, like coming from that background, I know what his job role means and I understand like the hierarchy of the company. And so yeah, I've had to dash a few people's dreams today by explaining what his actual job role is. And that people who work on Classic, well, they have a different job role. There is a leader for Classic. I forget what her name is. I'm pretty sure it's the redheaded lady they've had on a couple of BlizzCons. Like the last BlizzCon when it was all online, she talked about Classic. I forget her name or her job title. But yeah, they have like one leader person on Classic, and they got a couple of other button pressers, like some coders and some guys who can put like the JJ buff into Wrath, and the guys who can code the damage bonuses for the Heroic plus dungeons. Like those guys work on the Classic Team, and there's only a handful of them. None of them are like big creative thinkers or people who are going to have the clout to say yes, green light Classic Plus. Like none of those people are going to do that. Ultimately, Ian as game director probably has final oversight on like what's going to be worked on for Classic and for retail. Because last I checked, Ian Hazakostas is still game director. Her name is Holly. Okay. I don't know her full name. I should know that. It's something I should know, but she's just not nearly as visible like in the company as lots of other people. So I mean, I've only seen her talk 2 different times. Did I see the tweet about Blizzard and the hardcore deaths by class? No, but I want to see those numbers. I thought about that the other day. Like, I wonder how many of each class has died. I was hoping they were still tweeting like weekly statistics. I'm not on Twitter, so I never see it. I'll have to see if they have it posted on like Wowhead or something. Because I don't twit or tweet. The hunter had the most deaths. Yeah, I believe that. Also, like, when they're presenting you with deaths, I feel like that's the number of people who have also played that class to an extent. You know what I mean? Like, if Hunter is one of the most popular classes to play, then obviously the number of dead Hunters is going to exceed other classes, right? It's almost more valuable to have a percentage of. Like, how many of Warriors have died? 90%. How many of Hunters have died? 95%. Like, a percentage of death would probably be better and like more meaningful than saying like, oh, more Hunters have died than anybody. Well, okay, well, more people have made Hunters than anything else because Hunter is super popular. Like, a percentage based off how many would be more valuable data. And I'm not a very smart math person, but like something like that, where like you just take the number of overall created for a class, and then you calculate like what's the percentage of them that died, what's the percentage of them that made it to 60. That's what I want to see. What percentage of Warriors made it to 60? What percentage of Hunters made it to 60? Like, I want that stat. Not just like the number of deaths, because that's gonna depend on the popularity of the class. Like, for instance, you're gonna get like a really low, you're gonna get a low number of druids, you know, because like less people play druid than play hunter. But that doesn't mean that druid is more survivable or that less percentage of players are getting killed on druid. It just means less people are playing the class. So not a very valuable or interesting number. I guess we are doing this. Percentages by race. Yeah, if the numbers were presented the same way, like percentages by race, that'd be interesting too. Yeah, see, shamans were the least deaths, but obviously shaman are the least played, so therefore the number of how many died, it's not interesting or valuable to know. Did I not grab the crate? Oh, I thought I grabbed this. I was totally paying attention and not just talking, I swear. Alright, I think we should head up to Sven. Let's head up to Sven, and then we will head over to Abercrombie. 13 minutes left on the Hearthstone. By the time we get up there, we might be able to hearth back, depending on how much we fight down here. Oh, let's see. We are still, if you can believe it, we're still not maxed out on two-handed maces. It's like, it's so much slower. When you're a warrior, you get to tap rend. And when you tap rend, every time you hit rend, you get a swing. And that helps you level up your weapons a lot faster. On the paladin, you're only getting your attack, which is only happening like every 2.5 seconds. Which makes it so that it takes a long time to level stuff up. There's no money in the budget for all these stats. Yeah, it's only the social media team. You know, the social media team is typically that's not a very like high paid role. You're not really high up on the hierarchy when you're just a person working for the social media team. It's possible I can't do those kinds of mathematics, so it's possible that people on the social media team are not quite thinking that way. Because yeah, not a very high paid role to work on a corporation's social media team. Mark, am I a Lions fan? Yeah, I am. I like lots of teams, but I am a Lions fan. I did see some of the game last night. I watched enough of the game until I knew the Lions were for sure gonna win, which was like by the third quarter starting, it was pretty obvious that the Lions were gonna win, and they did. Although Green Bay ended up scoring more than I thought they were going to. Oh yeah, they've been looking good for a while. Yeah, they're 3-1 now. They have been looking good for a while, ever since the curse got lifted. Ever since they lifted the curse the other year. Like, I think it was the last year or the year before last, they've been doing pretty good. Carson, that's Leatrix Maps. Yeah, I have Leatrix Maps, which is a different add-on from Leatrix Plus. It's still Leatrix related. Am I a Goff fan? Yeah, he's better than Stafford. Yeah, he's like Stafford going to LA then winning the Super Bowl was a fluke because man, Stafford's not that good. Yeah, I like Goff. He could probably stand to be a little bit more athletic. Like although he did have that good run last night, but typically not a person who can. I like quarterbacks who can run the ball, like well when they need to. He saw an opening last night and went for it. That was nice to see. But he's not very athletic. Yeah, see people who like the Rams hate Goff. Yeah, I mean that's fine. He's been doing good in Detroit. Like I said, I just wish he was a little bit more athletic, could run the ball a little bit more competently.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend. Light bless you.
I mean, now that Stafford is on the Rams, after the Super Bowl win, Stafford's been playing like garbage. He looks worse than Mayfield out there. Like, it's just garbage. Should I grab the Weathered Grave? Like, if I grab this, it doesn't spawn the person, does it? Or should I leave this alone for now? I feel like maybe there's a breadcrumb off of this, but maybe I just leave it alone. Speak with somebody in Darkshire. Okay, we can do that. That's not dangerous. That's not the dangerous part. All right, cool. I should probably fly over to Westfall next after this stuff and do the Legend of Stalvin quest. Moonbrook Schoolhouse.
Hey there. See you later. See you around.
7 minutes on the Hearthstone. Let's grind here for a bit. Let's kill some ghouls for a bit. And when the Hearthstone is up, we'll just hearth back. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's just do a little bit of grinding. Right over here in our favorite graveyard. Maybe we'll even get the weapon skill maxed out finally. Mark, am I excited for Halloween? Always. Yep. Yep. My son's really excited too. That's part of why I'm excited. He's 8 years old, so he's really excited. We've been seeing, like, in the neighborhood, people have been putting up their decorations and stuff. We did a little neighborhood walk the other day to kind of like preview people's Halloween decorations. It's fun. We go door to door. They do a trunk or treat at his school. So like on like I think it's October 20th or something. They do like the week before they'll do like a trunk or treat at the school. But yeah, we go door to door in the neighborhood. It's like to me you're not trick or treating unless you're going door to door. Xanathus, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm glad you enjoy the recorded stuff, too. No trick-or-treating at 14? Man, I think I pushed it till I was like 15 or 16. Yeah, me and my friends, we'd take our bikes and we'd hit up like so many neighborhoods. And we'd just get like entire like sacks full of candy. We'd come drop it back off at a house, then we'd go back out. I'm pretty sure we pushed it until we were like 15 or 16. It's just worth it for the candy. Yeah, like we knew we were too old to be doing it, but we would dress up a little bit still, so like, you know, and we weren't hassling anybody or heckling anybody. We were just out like genuinely trick-or-treating. Yeah, it's free candy. I think, like, I don't know. Like I said, we pushed it till we were really old. It's like, we knew we were getting old and we wouldn't be able to do it forever, you know. But it was worth it. But I get it, like, kids are different these days, you know. Also, I hate to say it, but kids are also lazier these days. Yeah, like, we were always out riding our bikes anyway, so, like, riding our bikes all around the neighborhoods, parking at somebody's house, and then walking that neighborhood, then, you know, riding somewhere else, parking our bikes somewhere there, and then, like, that was, like, completely natural to us. All we ever did was ride our bikes around anyway. But, like, I feel like kids these days, like, they're not quite like that. Like, they don't want to just go walk around. Walking around is a hassle. They'd rather be on their iPad by that age, so, or they'd rather be on their phone with their friends or something by that age. I don't know. So, like, I guess, like, I think kids are just different. Yeah, Mark, we used pillowcases too, man. Yep. When the pillowcase was full, then you went back and you dumped it, and then you went back out. Yep. That's what we did. We just used pillowcases. Yeah, every year, depending on like what neighborhoods you're in, like you can kind of see like not as many people give out candy as they used to. Not as many people trick-or-treat through the neighborhoods as they used to. When I was a kid, I remember it being like a sea of people. You know, it was like you were walking at like Cedar Point or like a theme park. It would just be a sea of people. And it's not quite like that anymore. Although the neighborhood we're in is like, it's kind of a secluded few streets, like cornered in by major roads, so our area is actually like pretty good for the area of Michigan that I'm in. And quite a few people do actually trick-or-treat here. We went out in this neighborhood for the first time last year. Prior to that, we were driving to like a friend's neighborhood and going over there. But we walked this neighborhood last year and it was surprisingly good. And I've been doing neighborhood walks here for like the last year. And so I'm really familiar with the neighborhood and everything. And we seem to have more people. We've lived in neighborhoods in the past where like it seemed like hardly anybody was out. And hardly anybody would give out candy. And that's always depressing. Yeah, like here people start trick-or-treating like that hour of dusk. Like, it's not quite dark yet, but it's getting dark. That's when people start. But because the sun goes down so early here in Eastern time, like you're still out after night. Like, even if you only trick-or-treat till like 8:30, it's been dark for like an hour and a half at that point. It gets dark by like 7 o'clock by the time we're at the end of October. By 7 o'clock, it's pretty well dark. Oh no, we lost to level 8. We haven't lost a guildie in a while. Rip. Morladim, yeah, I got Morladim marked over here. He's the walking skull back there. He's way over that way for now. Are fruit snacks acceptable candies? To hand out. I mean, you could hand it out. Like my kid would like that. Like I think some kids would feel like, hey, that's not candy. But yeah, it's acceptable to hand out anything. Yeah. I would avoid, like, you know, it's acceptable to hand out anything that's wrapped. Yeah. Like, don't try to hand out, like, caramel apples or something, you know. just make sure it's sealed. Did I ever get pennies? Like, handfuls of change? Yeah, people would give you handfuls of change. Yep. They don't do that as much anymore, but I remember getting handfuls of change. Alright, the Hearthstone is off cooldown. Let's go ahead and hearth back to Darkshire. We will get everything turned in there, and then I'm going to fly us over to Sentinel Hill. Oop, let's loot. Could have been an epic. The popcorn balls, yeah, Anubis, I never ate the popcorn balls either. Yeah. They always got like stuck between my teeth and stuff. It was always like super annoying. I'd have to eat it, then I had to like immediately go brush my teeth.
King's honor, friend.
Let's see. Sell basically everything. I'm gonna mail these to the bank alt. Even if I can only sell them for like 25 silver a stack, that's over a gold. So yeah, I'm gonna mail those off.
Go with honor, friend.
That'll free up a lot of space. Robert, your pally died to a disconnect? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I had a weird disconnect on the Rogue the other day when I was recording the Rogue series. I had a weird disconnect, and I thought I was in combat when I DC'd. I got lucky, and when I came back in, it rolled everything back like 10 seconds, and I wasn't in combat, but it was scary. It was my first DC like that, besides the underwater one that happened on the Orc. The underwater one sucked. I could mail some gold off. I could mail some gold off, you know. But I'm gonna have to train eventually. It is kind of an impetus to, like, I don't want to plan. I'm not planning to die, you know. I should though. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna mail off 750 and be fine with that. I did spend like 6 or 7 gold on this two-handed weapon, so we've recouped that. I've recouped my loss on the weapon already, which is great. There we go. Now we're a little bit safer. You know what? I should mail this 10-slot bag too. I'm gonna get rid of that. I think that's good. I'm gonna check out the prices on some of the medium hide and heavy hide. The light hide I'm probably just gonna sell. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Hello.
All right, I'm gonna go AFK for a minute here in flight. I'll probably be back in like 2. I'm gonna take 5. Yeah, I'm gonna take 5. I'm gonna stretch my legs. We're gonna go for a little bit longer, so I want to stretch my legs. I want to refill my coffee. I want to get some water. I would advise you guys, if you've been sitting, to stand up, stretch your legs, hydrate. We'll do AFK 5 minutes, and we'll go from there. I'll put us in flight. Let me pin this. There we go.
What can I do for you?
And I will see you guys on the flip side.
Farewell.
Alright, we are back. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. And down to Moonbrook we go. Nothing dangerous here, right? We don't have to fight the enemy that spawns. I don't think this one is dangerous. Then again, I don't know what we're actually... I thought we were looking for a book. Oh, here we go, here we go. It's not a book, it's like a footlocker. Thank you, David. Yep, I need to get rid of that. John, this is the Defias Pillager server, which is a US East hardcore server.
Good day to you. Safe travel.
We probably could have turned everything in before we left, but I guess we'll just turn everything in now. We'll probably hit level 32. And then, I don't know, we might then have one of the quests for either Morbin Fell or Morladine? Maybe? Either way, we're getting to a point where we're almost done in Duskwood. Which is a little bit earlier than I wanted. I don't really want to head into Stranglethorn until I'm level 33, 34. I wonder if I could do anything in South Shore. Yeah, I mean we could do a Soothing Turtle Bisque and down the coast. 10 pieces of turtle meat, 10 Torrenfin Tide Hunters, 10 Oracles. We could probably do those before we go into Stranglethorn. But that's about it. Maybe Syndicate Assassins. That's getting a little bit of a higher level though. Thousand Needles, Shimmering Flats? Maybe. Yeah. Around the same level, yeah. Definitely. So we can do South Shore and then we can do Shimmering Flats, and by then we'll have to be level 34. And then we'll be able to go into Stranglethorn. Awesome. Yeah, that should actually work out. Thanks, David. It's been a while since anybody's gotten to swing the hammer.
King's honor, friend. For the Alliance.
Oh, these are almost really good. These actually are really good. I think I'll give up the 1 strength to get the 4 stamina.
Be careful.
Yeah, I kind of like that. And there we go.
Well met. Be careful. Safe travels. Light bless you.
What can I do for you? See you later. See you around. You need something? Have a good one. Safe travels.
Well met. Go with honor, friend. What can I do for you? Light bless you. Go with honor, friend. Need help? Be careful, for the Alliance. Light bless you. Go with honor, friend, for the Alliance.
And there we go, those are level 32. Which means we should probably go to Stormwind and train level 32 abilities.
King's honor, friend. Light
That
bless
could be
you.
a good
Be
idea.
careful, for the Alliance.
Well met. See you around.
Obesia, in official hardcore, you're looking at it. On Bloodcell Buccaneers, we got a Paladin to level 47. Before I had to retire him, he was. It got very tedious without being able to find a weapon. Bloodcell Buccaneers was solo self-found.
Have a good one. See you
Okay, so yeah, a bunch of stuff. Jitters. Old history book to the Stormwind Library. What is this? Lion's Pride Inn. Okay, let's go to Stormwind. We'll do the breadcrumb there. We'll train level 32, and then we could run out to Goldshire, and we can get that one done. We have Morladim. We have Morladim's quest. We have the Embalmer's Heart quest. So maybe we'll be ready to do all those pretty soon. We'd obviously have to find a group.
Can I help you?
So yeah.
Farewell.
John, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Talent points. Let's see. I think we grabbed the last point in Pursuit of Justice. That gets us to 8% movement speed increase. And after that, I think from here on out, we could probably go into Protection. I want to grab Improved Devotion Aura. I want to grab Toughness. And I want to get down to kings. So, yeah. 42. By 43, we should be able to get Blessing of Kings. And after that, I don't know. After that, I have no idea. Maybe precision, chance to hit. I don't think there's anything else here I want. No, eye for an eye, I don't want. No. This could be, like, a chance to crit strike could be okay. But we're never gonna make it down to vengeance, I don't think. We'll see. What kind of play it by ear. Yeah, the classic talent trees are better. They're better because you can go outside of a spec. Yeah, in retail, you pick a spec, you're stuck with that tree. You don't get any like leeway to take anything outside of the tree. Like the best thing about classic is that you have access to all of it, and you can make up whatever kind of build you want amongst. You're more your class. In retail, you are your spec. Your spec is its own class. But in Classic, you get to be your whole class. That's kind of how I think of it. Let's see. This one goes to the library. And then we'll go train first, and then we'll make our way over to the library. Yeah, in Classic, most of your early game specs in Classic are going to be a hybrid. You're going to go into multiple trees. The only real exception to this is Frost Mage. If you're a Frost Mage, there are so many good talents in the Frost tree that you have to spend all of your points there. But basically every other class, you're going to go into another tree for something at some point in the early game. Like, I think about how even if you're going to be a Shadow Mage, you go and you grab Improved Wands from the Discipline tree. Even if you're going to be our Shadow Priest. Even if you're going to be a Shadow Priest, you go grab Improved Wands in Discipline.
Lightly with you.
Let's see, Devotion or a 4. Yes, please. Divine Intervention. No, I don't need that. The Paladin sacrifices herself to remove the targeted party member from harm's way. Enemies will stop attacking the protected party member, who will be immune to all harmful attacks, but cannot take any action for 3 minutes. I'm not grabbing this. Oh, and we were broke, by the way. Oh god. Oh god. I need both these abilities. I knew I shouldn't have sent all that gold off. Oh, how sad is that? Let's see, can we vendor anything? We don't have a lot to vendor. Yeah, we might be able to get like one or the other.
Well met.
Ah, this is brutal. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if we're even gonna get there. I could do this. I could do that. Oh man. Absolutely brutal.
Go with honor, friend.
No more sending my gold off to the bank alt. I have to hold my gold for a while. I have to hold my gold until it's like really obvious that we have way too much of it. Because yeah, I needed that gold to train.
Greetings.
And now what do I grab here? Oh, I don't need Crusader. Let's grab Blessing of Might. Yeah, we're not using Crusader, so that doesn't matter as much. All right, that's all we can do. Oh, Stormwind music is getting a little loud. Let me tone that down a little bit. That's a little better. I don't even have the quest for the Sealer Rin. Yeah, I dropped the quest at some point. I don't remember like what part of it I dropped it at. And the ring is okay. It's a pretty good ring. My rings are not awful. But yeah, I never got it. I don't even have the quest.
Hello. Have a good one. See you later.
Ah, that's a breadcrumb to South Shore. Yeah, it probably would have been okay XP. That's true. Wrong way. If I want to kill Yowler at any point, I should probably go do this now. I should probably do this while it's going to reward actual experience. Let's run out to the Goldshire Inn. Maybe we just make the entire run, I don't know. We might just run from Goldshire over to Redridge. Yeah, it's not really efficient. I think it might be just as long to like run to Goldshire, run back to Stormwind, run to the Flight Master, get on the flight, sit on the flight to Redridge. I feel like by the time that's done, we could have probably just made the run. I don't know though. We are moving 8% faster than we moved before. So there's that. That'll be a little more impactful when we get our mount. Is it Barros Alexton? Is that who it was? Yeah, it's the missing diplomat, right? Is that what it is? I'm not too worried about it. The 70% of Alliance Quest wouldn't exist if the telephone was invented. Well, what about just like a postal service? You'd think like a nation like Stormwind would actually just have like a postal service or like a carrier service. They wouldn't have to rely on like random adventures because they'd have a fleet of like trained professionals with mounts. Instead, they're having us do it and we don't even have a mount. And we have to go deliver messages everywhere. You'd think that just like a postal service would solve most of the problems. Lag, not on my end. Not on my end. I have 0 missed frames, and my bitrate is steady, and I'm in the green. Let me know if anything else happens. But I'm good here. My continuous ping to Google has not dropped any packets. Also a good sign that it's not on my end. Could be a YouTube thing. Some are confidential. Some actual mail is confidential. We have mail that we send that's confidential all the time, like bank statements and stuff. If you're a professional postal service, then you handle it confidentially.
You need something?
We're just a random adventurer. It's much less likely that you can trust us. We're walking around with 7 people's heads in our bags. It's much less likely you could trust us with confidentiality than like an actual postal service, right?
See you later.
That's kind of what I think. Do I have to get anything out of like the upstairs here? I remember a quest where we had to like search a footlocker. Is that this quest? Yes, it is. Yeah, Eric, we did switch to a two-hander for a bit. I picked this up off the auction house. And we're doing this for a little bit of a change of pace. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make the run. Unless we have to go back to Stormwind for anything, which I don't think we do. No, we're good. Let's make the run out to Redridge. I want to do Yowler's Paw. I want to get this one done before we lose it. We should be. He's in a group of like 4 people. Like there's 4 mobs, 3 or 4 mobs. But we should be at a level where we can handle it, even if there aren't any other players around. Levels 23 to 25, Alex? Yeah, we should have it no problem. They'll probably be gray. They might be green, I guess. Has WoW ever had like a wood elf character? Well, technically like the night elves are kind of like wood elves, but I guess they're kind of like dark elves too. No, not really. There's high elves, there's night elves, there's blood elves. The night elves were originally like, they're a forest people. You know, when we first encountered them in Warcraft 3, it's because we're chopping down their forest. So they are kind of like a forest elf, but they are also like a nocturnal dark elf. Yeah, like it's kind of like the night elves are kind of like that, but the night elves also worship Elune. They're also kind of like dark elves when it comes to like their physical appearance. But yeah, in WoW, a night elf is as close as you get to a wood elf. Aaron, is this just classic WoW? This is classic era hardcore. Yep. Oh, we dinged a little while back. I need to update the stream title to reflect our current level. At least I'd like to be in the habit of doing that, now that we're a bit of a higher level. There we go, level 32. Bilko, happy Friday to you as well. Thanks for being here. Maybe I could look for a group for the elite quest here. Like all of them. Is the Redridge soundtrack the same as Elwyn? This sounds like it hasn't changed tracks, yeah. It sounds very much the same. Music is down a little bit, I can turn that up some now that we're not in Stormwind anymore. Maybe I'll grab some of these in case I find a group.
Light be with you. Light bless you. For the Alliance. Go with honor, friend. Be careful.
What am I missing here? What is this?
Greetings.
Oh.
For the Alliance.
Okay. I guess shadow magic is a little bit under level now. Theralzun, Gazilzog. I feel like I'm almost at a point where I could solo this stuff. Like, if they're level 25 elites, I could probably solo it. What are my thoughts on BlizzCon this year? What are they going to announce? They're going to announce a new retail expansion. They're going to announce Cataclysm Classic. And they're going to announce the new Season of Mastery. And the new Season of Mastery is going to happen really fast after BlizzCon because they promised it to us by the end of the year. Other than that, they might talk about self-found servers for hardcore. So, like, they mentioned that there would eventually be, like, a self-found hardcore official server. And so they'll probably talk about that a little bit. And that's probably it for WoW stuff. Retail X-Pack, Cataclysm X-Pack, new Season of Mastery, Part 2. Maybe a little bit of hardcore news. Predictions on the Retail X-Pack, Void Pirates. Something, 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 void pirates and the other side of the world. Queen Azara probably will be back. Robert, that's the wrong way. Queen Azara will probably be back. You know, she'll probably be back and she'll probably be framed as a good guy. So yeah, Naga playable race. Naga playable race incoming. The real question is, by the time that expansion comes out, is anybody gonna care at all? You know, because they already cut Dragonflight short. Dragonflight's only gonna have a 10.2 patch, 10.25, 10.27. There's not gonna be a 10.3. So because playership is way down compared to previous expansions, they're already cutting Dragonflight short. So like, will anybody care by the time the next retail expansion comes out? If it's another expansion that feels like Dragonflight, I don't think anybody's gonna give a crap. If they make it feel substantially different, then maybe. That's not the right hill. I don't think these people are like anywhere close, judging by party chat, I don't think they're anywhere close to actually getting out here and doing any of this stuff. So I'm gonna go check it out. Maybe we can just like, maybe we'll start with Lieutenant Fangor. And we'll kind of see. I don't know what those guys were doing, but it didn't seem like they were getting together to come do the quest. Where is Theral Zune? Where's he at? Oh, he's back here. Gazilgog, Theral Zune, okay. No, I dropped, Alex. They didn't kick me, I dropped. Not that I would care if they kicked me, but in this case I dropped. They weren't in the zone. I couldn't decipher their language, like what they were trying to express to me or each other. And so I don't want to have to figure it out. Impressive. I managed to pull everything. Oh, God. Why has he got so many people chained to him? He's got like 6 people chained to him for no good reason. It's pretty annoying. It's not an elite quest. I shouldn't need a 5-person group to do it. It's a solo quest. Here we go. Passive cooperation. Oh, this is great. Yeah, it's a solo quest, but you have to somehow be able to fight 5 guys at once. That makes sense. There we go. Quest complete. Let's go see if we can find more passive cooperation over this way. Maybe there will be a group already going on. If not, I mean, we probably won't be able to do it by ourselves. I know that, I know these guys are like surrounded by other guys. Like they're not standing on their own. So we'll go check it out. Yeah. We'll go see, but I don't know. It'd be cool to get these done. If I can't get them done, not a big deal. And no players. We're in our own layer now, so there's no players around. Nobody to passively group with. It's these guys again. That works. Where are they at? They're not anywhere close to where I'm at. Yeah, these are elites, Ra. Yeah, they're elites. They're just a low level. Rosalinda, good afternoon. I have a group that said they're doing this. They said that, but they're coming now. They were way over here. I don't know what they were doing up here, but they're on their way. This should work. I don't think we're gonna get any experience for shadow magic. That's probably just gonna be nothing. But the other two, we should get some decent XP. This place is terrifying if they're not gray. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. I was thinking, man, if these guys were yellow for all of us, this could be bad. We would need a healer, and I guess that would be me in this scenario. But yeah, I think most of us are higher level. 27, 29, 28. I'm the only higher level person, it turns out. I'm gonna go sword and board for this. Cause yeah, I don't know. It worked out okay, but yeah, if we had been one less player, or if we had been any lower of a level, probably would not have worked out as well. Well, that worked out. I think a couple people still need shadow orbs. That's why they're still hanging out. I'm gonna excuse myself from the group and we're gonna go get these turned in. I'll help out this last little bit. Yeah, I don't have the quest up the tower. Yeah. Yeah, I remember now there's a quest up there, but it started at the Tower of Azora, I think. For some reason, I missed the entire chain. I don't know. Maybe, you know what? It might spawn off of shadow magic, I guess. I really don't remember. But yeah, I know there is a quest up that tower, I just don't have it. It is picked up in Elwyn at the Tower of Azora. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think it's a lower level quest for me now. It didn't even show up on the map in Elwyn Forest when we ran by. It chains up to kill Morganth at level 27. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna turn these in. We'll eventually do Yowler, and then after that, I think we'll be done in the zone. I don't think we'll have to come back.
King's honor, friend. Light bless you. Be careful. Go with honor, friend. Be careful. For the Alliance. What can I do for you? Light bless you. Go with honor, friend. Light bless you.
Alright, there we go. That cleared quite a bit out of the old quest log. And I am at the end of my time for today, guys. That's all I can do for today. I really appreciate you guys being here. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. I may stream this evening. If I do, I might start up the Night Elf Warrior. By way of letting our Paladin here get a little bit of rested XP. I may do that, so yeah, you might see me tonight if you're interested in hanging out for that. If not, then probably sometime over the weekend. Either way, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves out there in the real world and take care of each other. And we'll see you back here again sometime very soon. Bye for now.